All right, guys. So Halloween 2025, Cooley's house. Now I don't have the projection mapping show because I've got to get it put outside and put in the ground. So I just take it out at night. So minus the projection mapping show, which you guys saw some footage, I wanted to give you guys some tips. If you have no money and you're on a budget, especially if you're a young family, I did this for years. Just get one thing a year. You be the snail, you be the turtle, and then you'll sneak up on everybody over time. So I'm 53, right? And just over years, a little, especially Christmas, right? When I show you Christmas, I've got a bunch of stuff, but I want to give you some tips. So if you have no money, number one thing, these trash cans are in the way. Trash day is tomorrow. I want to show you tips. Lighting can give your house a ton of pop if you have no money. Floodlights, like if you look over here, it's on the ground. Floodlights are cheap, 60 bucks, but you can get like 4 or 5 of them. And like you could flood your whole house. I didn't, right, because of the projection mapping, but I used to, and you can see over here. So lighting, like these little lights that you see, not super expensive. And look, like they didn't do any. I'm gonna film the neighborhood. I'll walk around and show you guys what people did, but I just want you to see how much it pops. Now, if you look, another thing, I'm gonna move here. I have some palm trees, and when you do your house, if you have a lot of shrubbery, it all looks compacted, too close together. Those people who like respect, because I love people decorating, but they just put a bunch of junk out. Not a fan of that. Clean, I like the clean look. And if you notice, I took my yard and stretched it. Like, yes, I have some palm trees and some things, but look when I pan how big my house looks in the front yard. That's just because it's kind of clean when I do the setups and the lighting, right? Like I'll walk closer, but just look. And then I'll show you even down the street. It just pops. It looks bigger than it is. So I'll show you, right? And you could get more every year. Even this, let me show you this little red light on this bush. That's a spider light I had, but I couldn't really use it this year. But just that little flash that it does, almost like a siren, that adds attention. So even if the lights don't go to your theme, you can put them out because it draws attention. You're like, oh, what is that little like siren kind of thing? You see that? And then here's this. And I added this if you guys saw. So when I run the projection mapping show, those will come out. Love Trimite, it's like the Govee. I think they're better. You can do you can do a million different things. You don't have to get on a ladder. And like, look, I filled in. So we have a competition this year. I'm yard sign number 2. I have a funny story I'll tell you guys when I get to one of the competitors' house. But see, I don't have much. Oh, Max, of course. Right, so the way I did Max, see this pole? I don't know if you can see. I don't like that light over there. This pole, fishing line, you can't see her at night. The line, it goes over there. But this is Max, which goes with the show. I will say, they just put that light in, hate it. But what I heard you can do is you can call into the city. There's a number on that pole. Supposedly, they'll put a shield. So I'm gonna look for Christmas, and I'll show you guys if they come out, right? So there's not a ton. Usually I do more, but my first year with Illumibot, I didn't know how much lighting. Little skull dude, right? Floodlights, and just this brings it to life. There's her little graveyard, right? So imagine, and I don't know if I showed you guys, I got a massive speaker that goes there. It's massive from Costco, but you can't Bluetooth it. It won't stay in sync with the show. And now we'll have some time between Christmas. I can show you about how to connect it and why, and you know, which cord to use. But right here, so just so I can give you a setup for the mapping, this is where my big table goes for the mapping. I'll set up here. We'll face the house this way. And then I'll have a fog machine that goes over there. I just ordered another fog machine. So let me tell you real quick. If you're impatient, it's not going to work. But sometimes you get deals at the end. Froggy Frog. Ready for this, you guys? 60 bucks, new fog machine. a gallon of the fog and the timer. The gallon of the fog stuff is close to 30 bucks. Timer's 20. That machine, and it's from Froggy Fog, which is really good quality, is usually, like, I paid on Amazon for something 60 bucks. So I'm getting all three. Maybe I'll do a short for you guys to see the deal. So for 60 bucks, fog machine, gallon of fog stuff, and what did I say, the timer, and they have scents. So I think for Christmas we'll do the scents. So I just want to show you, right, this was my first year. I wasn't sure how dark. I think those will come out. Let's move on, and I'll show you the neighbors' homes. Ooh, cool. Okay, I haven't seen, let's look at these jack-o'-lantern dudes. Check this out, guys. I'm doing this middle of the night. You guys know I don't sleep. Oh, these dudes are cool. Oh, I like those guys. I'll have to ask the neighbor how he did that. And then they did kind of the same. I like these little lights. I first saw them with Christmas. These like trees. This might be the first year I've seen it for Halloween. See, but even you see how they put bulbs, those different colored lights, it just adds more to your house. All right, so let me show you guys these dudes. These guys are cool. They play the band. I don't know if they're on right now, but they play music. Check this out. It's so nice out in Arizona, you guys. We've been waiting for this. All right, look. These dudes play. I like this. They're not cheap. I was wondering if they were the Reaper Man. His house is pretty nice. I like the little flashies. And then he had this on his bush. He turned it off. I was going to show you. He had this really cool sign right there. There's Mickey. So I see this. Sometimes people will get, but you can't see them at night. You can put a little floodlight or just a little spotlight. They're like 10 bucks, just so people can see them. I always recommend putting a spotlight on your dudes. See, these seem to be popular this year. I haven't really seen them before. All right, this house is a great example of what I was talking about, flooding. So they've got cool lights, right? Those little fire lights, but look, they flooded this. They only have one or two, maybe one light over there. They could have flooded the rest of their house. They didn't, but look how much that pops. So if you're on a budget and you can only flood your house, awesome. And then maybe next year you flood your house and add some of those little lights wherever on the ground or the bushes. Not too expensive, but it's dramatic. You can then look at the neighbors. They didn't do anything, but it just, you see how much that pops? So I'm out here late, so maybe some people's stuff is off, but that's cool, right? The garage, I like that. This is cool. Just let you see. And I like unique things, like that pattern. Sometimes you guys, you can find stuff. Weirdest places, Save On, Thrifty, places that you don't think it is. Just always be on the look. Even Goodwill. Goodwill will gets a lot of good stuff. Like this is different. Look, doesn't look super expensive, but look, not a ton, but it adds a nice touch. Oh, is this my neighbor's house? No, my neighbor, I think his stuff is off. He did Oogie Boogie, really cool, but maybe his stuff shut down. And I'll do Christmas so you guys can see Christmas, but not crazy stuff. Those are different. It's little purple lights, but it looks cool. I just want to show you from the distance, like the street, those strobe lights or strobe pops. So if you want attention at your house, get kind of a strobe that will attract attention. This is my buddy's house. His stuff is off, but I just want to show you. So he's doing Jack Skellington. He makes all these, he cuts them out, but what's cool is it can double for Christmas. Look, it's dark, but I just want to show you. He won't care. He's my buddy. I don't know. Oogie's pretty dark. You can't see it. I'll have to come back maybe if I have time. I'll show you his house for Christmas. He puts a massive Christmas tree light in his house. And look, Jack's on the swing up on top of his house. Isn't that awesome? You're like, yeah, Cooley, it'd be more awesome if it was lit up. Okay, another example. He just has, those are actually green lights, a red. It makes his house pop. I don't know what it looks like on the camera, but that little bit, if you're on a budget, creates a great pop to start. Yeah, they did cool. I've never seen like those dudes before. And let's look, they've got a little graveyard. I like the little graveyards. There's some good lighting here. See, from the street lights, that would kill our show. He's on the pole. They do some neat things. Like those little masks. I haven't seen those before. That's cool. Now let's look. Right, just a bunch of little. See, the street light provides a lot of that light. Not great for a projection mapping show, but one year they had a talking guy. He scared the crap out of me one day. I like the purple and orange. Oh, this is cool. I didn't see this. Oh, that guy. Here, another example. Not a ton, but it looks nice if you're starting out. It has a nice little pop, and the kids will know, like, oh, they're decorated. Like, see, they went back. Cute. This is another house. They do a nice job. They have Witchy. Look. She'll make noise. I think this is new. I didn't see that last year. And Big Boy. I used to have this guy. They did a nice job. So I just want to show you, I'm at the corner on my street, but that's my house. See with the strobe, how much it pops and the floodlights. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. If you have a little kind of strobe, flood your house, and if you look, and then you look down, it just pops. Do you guys remember when tunnels were the big thing? My neighbor, his lights are off. His other neighbor has them on. But those are cool. He covers it with black, makes it a haunted house. His lights are off, but you can see kids like to walk through. Ooh, these are nice. Look at these. These are new. I haven't seen these before. But him and his neighbor do this one long tunnel. So the kids, they love it. If you haven't done the tunnels, they're kind of fun. Kids love to walk through. Yeah. Very nice. And especially if your neighbor will work with you, oh, you can have an awesome setup. Look at this guy.
Hey there, it's prime time for perfecting your ghost noises. Give it a try. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
He's cool. I like that guy. He did a nice job. But yeah, if you can do your neighbor, oh, it's awesome. So usually it goes farther, I showed you. Kids love walking through that. Okay, here's my last example for tonight. This guy does a good job. Notice, and I'm far. See the flooding? Look how much it pops. Those floodlights flood your house and it gets a crazy pop. We'll go take a look at it. He does really cool stuff. All right, so now I'm about 50 yards from his house. Mostly floodlights. He has animatronics, but just see how it pops. If you look down the street, it just hits you in the face. See? All right, so we're gonna walk up on his house, but I want to show you what he did. He's a corner house too, so right, there's no excuse that you can't work with your house. That's like his side yard, but you see he flooded the whole side. He created a different effect. He's got those little glowy firelights, but that's it really. Like, I don't know what that other thing is, but he doesn't have a ton. And I'll tell you right now, because I don't have the projection mapping show on, right? He's killing it in the Halloween contest. And his guys are cool, but he doesn't have a ton. But that flooding and knowing how to shadow with your lights, crazy effect. That I think is awesome. Now look at these dudes. He has some cool animatronics. Let's see if they might not go off. Let's see if they go off. No, I think he turned them off. But one thing he does have, make sure you have goods. Oh.
Some folks get superstitious about digging up the dead. Well, I can't blame them. The things I've seen would make your skin crawl. Similar to these juicy worms I just found. See, this job ain't all bad. These worms will make a tasty snack for later.
Alright, so one thing he did, don't go cheap on your floodlights. High powered floodlight pays off. Okay. And then see, like that house, cool, but it doesn't pop like this. Look at, now this is cool. Look what he's got over here. Yeah, he's competing too. We razz each other. Funny.
I am bound to this unhallowed place, forever adding souls and skulls to my collection, as my life was taken from me many moons ago.
Headless Horseman.
Nice. How about you give me your fresh head to replace this old one I stole last night?
I think this is awesome. This guy's cool too. Okay.
My steed and I have been together for countless generations, stealing souls and searching for my lost skull. And we have both grown. Now every Halloween.
See, good floodlights. And then now look, nothing here, but his house pops. Let me zoom out. Right, don't go cheap on those floodlights. Now if you have a Lumabot, you're not gonna do this, but I have an idea, I'll show you. But see how clean, not a ton of stuff. Those animatronics are insane, right? I'll give them that. But look at the dimension, purple, red, but you need the good floodlights. Now I'll show you one idea, if you have a Lumamot, that you can do with the floodlights. Okay, so one last look at this before I head to my house and show you a little tip. You saw it's not, other than that, those two or those three animatronics, cool, but not like, I mean, they're awesome, but not crazy stuff. But I'm telling you, I think, and he's killing right now in the competition, but I think it's floodlighting, right? His house, the way he's flooded it just makes it look different than every other house in the neighborhood. It has that spooky, just kind of cool look, and that's all from the floodlighting. And I'm across the street, I just wanted to show you. Here, I thought I would show you this. This is so funny. My neighbor puts this up every year. 57 days till Christmas. He stresses everybody out with this. The Christmas countdown. Everybody gets so stressed when they see it. It cracks me up. Yeah, here's another idea. This is my neighbor's house. Even if you're on a budget and you have the right color garage, I think his is white. This is these little on the ground projectors, right? What we're doing. But look how much it pops. Takes up his whole garage, kind of like a Lumabot, and for $20. And it just, if you're on a budget, huge space. And imagine if you flooded, right? You could run this, flood this side, flood that side of your house, throw some little lights down, and you have a nice little display. All right, so Illumibot's my first year, right? So this is all kind of white. I have it dark. I said I'll pull out those little lights. But look, even with the cheap floodlight, those are cheap. Look how much difference from here it pops on my wall. And I did this on both sides. I'll show you the other side. Now my lights are starting to turn off, but these bushes, let me show you if you're gonna run a Illumibot. I just had this idea. I put the floodlight, let me show you. Is it here still? Where is it? So I had the floodlight right here. You can't see it, facing out to the street, right? So what's gonna happen is you're not gonna, and I had it flooding the graveyard. It's not gonna be on the house, but you could flood your rocks. Like I had the idea with those floodlights, right? That wall the show's not on, so I'll put like Christmas colors, but I'm gonna turn the floodlight around like I did for the graveyard. If you look earlier at the footage, you'd see it on. You could flood the rocks, right? That adds a lot of pop. And then let's walk this side, right? By the way, if you have a dark garage like I do, you could put sheets, cheap sheets, kind of a pain, but you could do it. Or maybe get the higher end. My projector is middle of the road, which is great, like if you're on a budget, but it works, not as great. Depends on your image. If you have a high contrast image, like that fun kid show I did, high contrast, it worked fine. But I'll just want to end it with this. See, it's flooded over there. No flood because of Illumibot, but those are the cheap floodlights, and it just pops. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. I'll do Christmas. A lot of people, at least they did, do Christmas in our neighborhood, and then Halloween night. It should be crazy. We get about 800 trick-or-treaters at the house, and so with it being Friday, 1,000 maybe more, I'll try to get some footage of the craziness, and then my plan is to make some videos for you guys on the music, how to, other ideas. But I did hear the rumorville, it's actually not a rumor, they're getting closer, very close with the AI for corner pinning. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. They're working hard on it, which would be amazing, right? I'm kind of happy. I said to myself, watch, I'll learn how to do corner pinning really good, and they'll come up with the AI. So I don't know, you guys, now that I'm hearing they're getting close, I might just wait for the AI and let it do it. All right, happy Halloween 2025. I'll see you guys in the next one.